a lot of people who talk about visualization on YouTube are kind of materialistic about it. And I get that, people need money or income in order to eat. These are things that we deal with. The problem is that they're not coming at these visualizations from a place of honesty. They're not coming at them from a place of doing good for others, a place of, what will genuinely fulfill me and make me happy. So when you start to come from those places, and again, you can look to the Tao Te Ching for these teachings. This is not this, I think in the West, like I definitely grew up hearing about Taoism as a religion, and I was just like, okay, no thanks. But this is a 2-hour masterpiece that just talks simple truths that people had who have clearly been in the deepest states of meditation. And if you've ever seen anyone do Tai Chi is like the physical manifestation of the Tao, you might say. So if you look at them and see that they're in the flow, this is the intellectual version of that. Check it out. I got another one here. Stop thinking and end your problems. What difference between yes and no? What difference between success and failure? Must you value what others value? Avoid what others avoid? How ridiculous. Other people are excited as though they were at a parade. I alone don't care. I alone am expressionless, like an infant before it can smile. Other people have what they need. I alone possess nothing. I alone drift about like someone without a home. I am like an idiot. My mind is so empty. Mind you, this is God talking. I am like an idiot. My mind is so empty. Other people are bright. I alone am dark. Other people are sharper. I alone am dull. Other people have a purpose. I alone don't know. I drift like a wave on the ocean. I blow as aimless as the wind. I am different from ordinary people. I drink from the Great Mother's breasts. That is a lot. I mean, I think some of the points that are really important here are, first of all, just even questioning whether success and failure matter. And Lao Tzu goes further and further into that in this book. Must you value what others value? I mean, that too is really getting to the core of, anytime we feel like we're striving, or we don't feel like we're good enough, or we don't feel like we are achieving everything we're supposed to, you can really look to the end here, which is, I'm a drifter. I'm like an idiot. My mind is so empty. Of course, this getting into meditation too, right? It's the idea that, you're walking around the world and not having a lot of self-talk. You're just being and talking when it makes sense, when the way basically tells you it does. And, I am dull. Other people have a purpose. I alone don't know. And that comes straight back to the topic we have here today, which is living without goals. I know that in my own kind of journey into my brain, one of my big things I was trying to figure out is my purpose. And this is in 2018, where, I had just lost 98% of my money, and it did not feel good. It was a huge ego hit. And so I am going through this process where luckily I started meditating at just that time. And I'm going through this process. I'm looking at myself as greedy, kind of a failure. I was in a bit of a dark place. It didn't go that dark, luckily, because I had meditation to kind of help me through that process and smooth it out a bit. But as I broke out of that, I realized that the industry I was in, like there are many core reasons why that whole story happened, but one of the core reasons is that I was in something I wasn't passionate about, and I was really only doing it for money. So I'm in this industry, not being passionate about it. And finally, I'm kind of starting to look at, okay, what's next? I can go back to that, do what's easy, or I can redefine myself and go do something that truly makes me happy. So that one of the first next steps after that. And by the way, thank you for watching and listening to this. I hope that this whole lecture that I'm doing on Taoism and how it applies to our lives is helpful. So, I'm going through this process, and eventually I arrive at a place where I'm like, okay, I need to find my purpose. So I started looking at that, and I do get some insights. I get insights like I'm only going to be happy doing something that truly helps the world and others. This is, I think, one of the great insights that people who start to learn about these things come to. And then I started looking at, like, I was trying to define myself. And you'll remember from earlier in this episode where we read a quote in the Tao Te Ching where he talks about exactly that. Don't try to define yourself. Be everything so that you can be anything to anyone. And I got to a point after I was looking at my purpose where it created its own struggle. It created its own frustration, where I'm looking at, how do I achieve something that even defines my purpose? I'm setting a new goal, really, one that is going to have a purpose that fulfills me. And so from there, I started to have a new struggle, and I came to I started reading a book called Reality Transurfing that really helped me redefine my belief on how people should look at these things, which is set a goal or set a vision and become unattached with it. That's the key here. So, instead of setting goals, never having achieved them, always setting higher ones, being frustrated with yourself, not enjoying life, not enjoying the moment you're in, have visions, spend time thinking about what your life might look like, and with you being happy with it, and understand what that looks like, and then let it go like it's a dream, and then get back to your present moment and move on, keep doing. Like you might be inspired to go do a few things that go down that path, or you might just let it go for now and see if things happen, do whatever is going to bring you your highest happiness in this moment. And when you start living that way, what I have found is that you do become a drifter, but you are living life in the way that it is supposed to be lived. If you're going to accomplish external greatness, you only want to do that in a way that's actually going to fulfill you, make you enjoy it during the process. Like, I look at so many people who are really, they have great corporate jobs, or they're the CEO of a large company, and they're always stressed out. This is the main cause of cancer, by the way, is stress. The second one is diet. These sicknesses are a manifestation of the misery that the lives that people are living, but they're not telling you about that aspect of it. So be happy if you're in a small, empty life. And that's why humans are so happy when they're out in nature. Like, that's exactly how we're actually supposed to be living our lives. But, we all want to live in a nice house and stuff, and eat food that's delivered to us on Uber Eats. So, it gets tough. But this is really it. It's following what the Tao has to teach us here. You know, if you want to succeed, don't mind yourself with success. If you want to find fulfillment, don't try to be fulfilled. Actually, just be fulfilled in this moment. And that's why, you know, again, meditation, just get more into that. Learn ways to catch yourself. That's what I've done. It's really changed my life, to be perfectly honest, and it's great. So if you like this topic, let me know in the comments. Definitely give this video a like so it's shown to more people on YouTube. I appreciate everyone who's been watching, because this has been a rather long video, right? But super interesting topic, and I'm definitely going to be covering more Taoist philosophy, how that applies to our lives, to minimalism. I mean, minimalism is really just modern Taoism. So those are things that like I'm really getting into and practicing a lot, and going to be covering here. Also, don't forget to check the description below to download my ebook and take my online course. Like I said, it's free, 7 days. I was selling it and I decided to make it free. And this is really the only place I'm talking about it. So somehow people are like still finding it though. I don't know. People are sharing it or something. And let me know if there are any other topics that you'd like me to cover going forward. So with that, thank you so much for joining. Go check out my video on the 7 levels of consciousness. I'm going to put a link to that below right after this. And until next time, stay visionary.